wants to step into the pocket. Do you have what it takes? And now, the Pocket Presents Podcast, presented by FRESHOUSE Juice Bar and PILBROIII Inc.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Pocket Presents Podcast. I'm your host, Dante DiTomasis, alongside my co-host, Nick Satz.
What's going on, everybody?
And here we are, guys. Another edition. Week 9 is in the books. We're over the halfway point of the season. But before we start, we'd like to thank our sponsors, FRESHOUSE Juice Bar. Check them out, guys. They got 2 locations, one at Pine Valley and 7, and one at Kiel and Major Mac. For the freshest of the freshest needs, the nutritional extravaganza, to get your fitness on, to get your health on, you go to Mike. He's the best. And, of course, PILBROIII Carpentry. For all your carpentry needs, the PILBROIII family has been doing it for over 30 years. Go to Tony for that. They build homes and not houses. And, Nick, here we are. Week 9, what are some of your early takeaways from Week 9?
The Ravens grinded out a win over a tough Colts defense.
That was a hell of a win.
I don't want to say their offense looked good, but the way in which they won that game, they really needed that for their confidence.
Nick, I gotta agree with you. That was a statement win. The ground game was working. Lamar Jackson finally, let's see if he keeps up that momentum.
Yep.
I was in absolute shock with New Orleans, the way they dismantled Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that was
absolutely stunning.
And it was on Sunday night, too.
Sunday night, just what an embarrassment
if
that
you wanted
was.
to get put to bed early...
Oh, that was the game.
That was the game.
All the experts, gurus, whatever the hell you want to call it. Tampa Bay. No.
And New Orleans steamrolled them.
Steamrolled. It wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't.
But, Nick, I'm feeling a little thirsty right now.
Sure.
Are you thirsty?
I mean... I've
started.
been thirsty.
My goodness.
I've been thirsty.
Before the show even started, Nick's thirsty. I got my juice here. Are you ready, Nick?
Yes.
You ready for some
I'm ready to go.
Scores?
I'm ready to go 3 for 3.
I mean, you better go 3 for 3 now. Anyways, guys, Week 9 scores presented by FRESHOUSE Juice Bar. Whoa, that was close.
That was a lot closer than it needed to be.
That was very close.
I'm kind of impressed. I mean,
alrighty. Thursday nighter. Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers taking on San Fran 49ers. Rodgers returns home to Cali and absolutely lights this team up. Niners don't look good at all. Richie James came out of nowhere because they had nobody. Packers take it 34-17.
Devontae Adams, another beast of a game.
Sunday games now. Denver Broncos, Atlanta Falcons. Nick, this was a weird game. Nobody cared about it, to be honest. But the Falcons got the lead. I mean, thank God they didn't blow this one. Falcons take it 34-27. Seahawks and Bills, Nick, an absolute showdown in this one in Buffalo. Russell Wilson and Josh Allen. Josh Allen got the better of him in this one, and he looked fantastic. For all you fantasy owners, I definitely guarantee you were loving Josh Allen on Sunday. Bills take it 44-34.
Bills' best game of the year for sure.
Ravens and Colts, Nick. Lamar Jackson looked fantastic in this one. The ground game was working. They controlled the clock. And the Ravens took it to the Colts, 24-10. Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars, Nick, this was very close. Right at the end there. That new quarterback there. Jake Luton. Gluten, I guess. He might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say the Texans are happy to be gluten-free in this one because they barely ran out of Jacksonville here. Texans take it 27-25. Carolina Panthers and Kansas City Chiefs, Nick, we almost witnessed history right at the end here. Joey Sly almost kicked a 67-yard NFL record field goal. But, they played great. Christian McCaffrey was back, but then he got hurt again. Terrible loss for the Panthers. They just can't catch a break. Chiefs take it 33-31. Detroit Lions, Minnesota Vikings, Nick. I mean, let's say it again. Dalvin Cook. You want to open up a restaurant in Minnesota? You want to call it Dalvin Cook. Because the Minnesota Vikings took it to the Lions this one, 34-20.
Dalvin Cook.
That's basically it. Chicago Bears, Tennessee Titans, Nick. Another great game on paper, but the Bears' offense not so great these days. Tennessee did what they had to do. They take it, 24-17.
Nick Foles sucks.
New York Giants, Washington football team, Nick. This comedy of comedy.
Oh, the NFC. It's the NFC East.
It's the NFC East. Kyle Allen gets hurt. I don't know what it is with the Redskins and these leg injuries that with the quarterbacks.
Yeah,
it's like,
that was like Dak's injury.
I'm telling you guys, you do not want to be a quarterback on the Washington Redskins these days.
Football team.
Excuse me, football team.
Football team.
Alex Smith came in, ironically, from that leg injury and replaced another guy with a leg injury.
And, they made it close at the end. But
Giants take it, 23-20. Now we get to the 4 o'clock games, Nick. Raiders and Chargers, this was bananas right at the end. The Chargers thought they had a win, but nope. They went under the boot. They checked it twice.
And it was incomplete.
And they found out it was not nice. So what are you going to do? Raiders take it 31-26.
That's another new way to lose for the Chargers.
Nick, my Dolphins were in Arizona, and I was ecstatic for this one. They really took it to Kyler Murray, even though Kyler Murray had a great game. I'm so proud of my Dolphins, Nick. They fought hard. I had a lot of skepticism heading into those Rams and now Cardinals games. They won them both. Tua is legit.
He played better than the Rams game, that's for sure.
I might get his jersey, Nick. I might. I just might. Dolphins take it 34-31. Nick, I don't know what the hell. This was the weirdest game by far in Week 9. The Steelers and the Cowboys. Steelers 15-point favorites, guys. 15-point favorites. You think they're going to annihilate this team. I don't know what happens in this one in the early stages. Pittsburgh completely out of sync. The Cowboys
terrible.
Cowboys had the lead. They had the lead for the entire game, basically. Ben Roethlisberger gets hurt. You're thinking the Cowboys, what's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Yeah.
No. I mean, he came back and this Hollywood ending unfolded, and Pittsburgh takes it 24-19. Nick, Sunday Nighter. We alluded to this earlier. This pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a shocking game. It was a shocking game.
Just get to it.
Saints and Bucks. Breeze completely destroyed Brady. Yeah. Saints take it 38-3. Monday Nighter, Nick. Let's move on from this one. This was I don't even care about any of these teams. Patriots and the Jets. It was really.
It was actually a good.
It was
actually a good game.
It was a great Monday Nighter.
It was actually a great game.
Kobe Myers, as I said earlier last week, you should have started him, and boy, did he have a great game. Cam Newton also had a great game. Hopefully, he continues that for New England.
Absolutely.
Patriots take it 30-27, and that is the Week 9 scores presented by Fresh House Juice Bar. So, Nick, let's move into some of the, I would say, this is the part of the year where we want to see those candidates, especially in fantasy perspective, where, your team can go into championship contending teams.
Sure.
Right? And these are always the times of the years where people start to trade, make some adjustments, changes need to be made. So who's that buy low candidate that you think?
The one guy I'm going to look at is if you're like me and you like to stream quarterbacks, there's one candidate who was drafted extremely high and hasn't lived up to expectations at all, and that's Lamar Jackson. I would buy low on him because he can turn up the rushing numbers and the rushing touchdowns in the snap of a finger.
I agree.
He's dynamic. He's, for the most part, unless he's playing Pittsburgh, he's not going to turn the ball over too many times. And listen, from what I heard from him today, there was a quote from him saying that teams are reading the Ravens' plays at the line of scrimmage, which is very worrying.
Yeah.
But when you got an athlete like Lamar Jackson back there and a smart team and a smart offense like the Ravens, they're going to adjust. They're going to hopefully add in and sprinkle in some new plays. And you hope to see Lamar, regain that QB1 trajectory that he was on for the most of last year.
That's right.
Who's a candidate that you're going to buy low on?
Well, for me, Nick, I'm going to stay in the same division. I'm going to go James Conner. He had a pathetic game last week against the Cowboys. Everyone's thinking Pittsburgh's going to take their early lead. This is my philosophy at least.
Right, and they're just going to run him.
They're just going to run him.
Yeah.
Listen, James Conner's going to come back against the Bengals here. He's going to come back. He's going to help you guys. I'm telling you, for a playoff run here. Steelers got one of the best O-lines in this league, okay? I'm telling you, people.
And
James
on the
Conner.
contrary, the Bengals have one of the worst run Ds. It's been better as of late, but it's still below average.
Well, that's why I got James. I mean, I mean, it should be an interesting game, Nick.
Yeah, no,
Should be
I'm
an
absolutely
interesting-
looking forward to that
We'll get
one.
into Week 10 later, but
Yeah.
I love James Conner moving forward, especially for a playoff run. I love them all season, really.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, too, Nick, for the playoff stretch, we'll get into that later in the season. So as we get to the Week 11s and the Week 12s, guys, we'll help you for all your playoff run. Who you want to prepare for, who do you desperately need.
Which defenses you want to pick up,
Exactly.
because you definitely want to be proactive. If you
Exactly.
know you're going to make the playoffs, and if you finish, in either first place or second place and you get the bye week,
That's right.
you want to pick up that defense on your bye week or before your bye week.
Very important. Very important to be proactive and think ahead, and that's the beauty of fantasy football. Sometimes you gotta make those adjustments.
You always got to think ahead in fantasy
Exactly.
football.
So, Nick, let's move on to some waiver targets. We're heading into Week 10. A lot of madness happening. Who do you think's a good waiver target this week?
The first guy that comes to mind, especially with Christian McCaffrey going down, is going to be Curtis Samuel. If he's on the waiver wire, miraculously, if he's still on the waiver wire, because I'm sure in most leagues he's probably picked up, but he's the only guy I can think of right now. You see him, and he doesn't look bad at wide receiver, and he looks great when he's in the backfield.
Yeah, they use him.
He looks
They use
great,
him.
and
They rush it.
He's getting a lot of touches, and when you pick up a guy off the waivers, I always like to look at volume, and especially with McCaffrey, week to week, not day to day, week to week. Pick him up because, and especially if McCaffrey goes on IR again, he's not allowed to return because you cannot return from injured reserve twice. So if he goes on IR, you have a flex play, maybe low end RB2 for the rest of the season.
Wow, that's bold.
Yeah.
So Mike Davis, what do you think?
He's still going to be there. He's still going to get the touches that he deserves because he's definitely warranted them. But Curtis Samuel's that change of pace guy.
Yeah, Teddy loves him too. He's got a great connection with him.
So I like Curtis Samuel.
I mean, I got a couple, Nick.
List them.
I mean, as you could see, Monday Nighter, Jacoby Myers, if you guys didn't want to listen to us, he's still low owned here. Do whatever it takes to get that guy. I mean, because when Julian Edelman, I don't know what's his involvement's going to be, but I know Myers is going to be there throughout the whole season. I know that's coming. And of course, Nick, I'm going to go a little bit off the board here. I'm going to go Kalen Ballage. What I saw from this guy, Nick, I don't know. It was a whole different animal.
I think I know
Very
why he
explosive.
looked so good.
Why was that?
Because Adam Gase is no longer his coach. Adam Gase is
There
no
you go.
longer holding him back. And Adam Gase, Ballage probably thought who are they playing? The Raiders?
The Raiders.
He
Terrible run defense.
probably thought every Raiders player was Adam Gase. I bet you he envisioned that.
Well, another thing too, Justin Jackson might be out. So definitely nobody had Kalen Ballage last week.
Oh no, definitely not.
So
Definitely not.
you got to go get this guy. I mean, he's got another great matchup against my Dolphins, which should be a great game.
Oh, absolutely. Tua versus Justin Herbert. That's
two rookies
that's what
going
the
at it.
5th overall pick going against the 6th overall pick.
Should be a hell of a game.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game.
Should be a hell of a game. But I love those guys for this week. But yeah, no, let's get into that actually. Week 10. What game are you looking forward to the most?
Obviously, it's always whenever these two teams play each other, I just get so into it and I get so hyped up. It's Bengals Steelers. Two teams that absolutely despise each other. And, the rivalry's really taken a back seat as of late because, we were pretty much a laughingstock after that disappointing playoff loss a few years back against Pittsburgh. And, they've really whooped our butts. We haven't beat them since we made the playoffs. And, each time we play them, it just seems to be more and more heartbreaking and more frustrating. But now the Bengals coming off a statement win against the Titans, going into their bye feeling good about themselves, get a chance to get their bodies right, and look who's at quarterback.
I know.
Look. They're going to have a chance. They're going to have a chance as long as Joe Burrow doesn't get hit. And especially if Pittsburgh plays like they did last week, like garbage, then Cincinnati can easily hand them their first loss of the season. As long as the refs don't get involved for the Steelers. Because in order to beat the Steelers, you need to beat them and you need to beat the refs. Okay?
You think Joe Mixon plays?
From what I read today in practice, he looks really good. And
that's a good sign. Very good sign.
Absolutely. And
perfect timing.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if they're going to settle him in. Gio's looked great.
Oh, yeah.
And
phenomenal.
T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and Auden Tate. Pittsburgh's got to choose who they want to defend. You can't double them all, No.
I mean, my biggest fear with Pittsburgh is always that D-line. You got the likes of Hayward and Tuitt, and they just...
T.J. Watt.
Yeah, they just blow up plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Bud Dupree. They just blow up plays.
But I think, after what happened to Cincinnati in Baltimore, who also has another great defensive line and a great pass rush. I think that Cincinnati's going to learn from that loss and try to implement some West Coast offense, some really
quick outs,
quick intermediate,
that's right,
quick short intermediate throws, not hold the ball for too long because Pittsburgh is going to get pressure on the quarterback no matter what. Their pass rush is just too good, but this is a great challenge for Cincinnati.
Exactly.
And they should have all the motivation in the world to want to hand Pittsburgh their very first loss of the season. So, obviously, that's the game I'm most looking forward to.
Well, another thing, too, right? Especially with undefeated teams, we've seen it over the years so many times, right? I mean, obviously, my Dolphins, I wasn't alive for that, 1972, perfect season. But I've been alive for the Patriots. I've been alive for, a bunch of other teams. And it gets harder. It gets harder as the weeks go on because everyone is going to play great against you now. So you're heading into the week 9s, the week 10s, and literally going all the way up to 17. It's going to get a lot harder for Pittsburgh, and we'll see what happens. But I mean, that constitutes good football in that game.
And listen, I mean, it looked like Pittsburgh severely underestimated the Cowboys.
Oh, by a mile.
And you know what? If they want to underestimate Cincinnati, that is okay with me. That is okay with me because
what was it? Where are we at? Danucci's gone. We had Garrett, right?
Garrett Gilbert.
Garrett Gilbert. Yeah. The guy played pretty damn good.
He did. He
came out of absolutely nowhere. Maybe out of where Danucci was coming from, too, that pizza shop there.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. But he played a lot better. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
He put Amari Cooper. He brought him to life for some reason. Zeke Elliott brought him to life.
Yeah.
So
I'm tired of talking about this Bengals Steelers. I mean, I'm really not, but I just want to get your input on Week 10 and what game you're most looking forward to.
I got the Bills and Cardinals. I'm really looking forward to this one. Josh Allen versus Kyler Murray. Two outstanding quarterbacks. This is going to be a fantasy dream. Literally.
Both defenses suck.
Exactly. And they both can run. And they're both going to get those rushing yards. I'm going to be bold here. I'm going to call 100 rushing yards and a touchdown for each quarterback in this game. That's probably going to be the first time in NFL history that's going to happen. And you're going to see that play out on Sunday in Arizona at 4 o'clock. And, of course, I got my Dolphins against the Chargers.
Absolutely.
Another massive, massive game. Tua versus Herbert. Oh, my goodness. My Dolphins. If we could do it again, Nick, that's 5 in a row. I can't even believe I'm saying this out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I would have never experienced this in my wildest dreams before the season. I was thinking for sure it was going to be like a tank season. Tua's going to watch Fitzpatrick lose every game. No. I'm very proud of my Dolphins. Coach Flo ain't going anywhere.
He's a great coach.
I love that guy. I love his energy. I love how he brings it to his players.
And the defense seems to respond.
Exactly. Ogba, and that whole defensive line looks fantastic. Jerome Baker, another leader in the linebacking core.
Yeah,
Landon Roberts. And I love this team. Nick.
And they have two solid two very good cornerbacks.
Howard, baby. And
Byron Jones, the free agent acquisition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? We took a bunch of Patriots.
Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah. We took a bunch of Patriots.
Landon Roberts.
Yeah, we took a bunch of Patriots, put them in the backfield. Mm-hmm. Coach Flo used to be on the Patriots, so they all knew his system.
Yeah,
and Bob's your uncle. We have a defense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you must be pretty excited.
Unbelievable.
About that.
Unbelievable. We could stop teams. Obviously, Arizona, they put up 31, but then again, it's Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but I mean,
we slowed
you're
them down.
not going to stop everybody, right?
No. So we'll see what happens. Should be a great week. But anyways, guys, that's it for us, guys. Stay tuned for more podcasts. Enjoy Week 10. Once again, thank you to our sponsors, Fresh House Juice Bar. Check them out, guys. We absolutely demolished their delicious drinks here. I love this juice. It's absolutely incredible. And of course, PILBROIII Carpentry, guys. We got our nail of the week coming up very soon for Week 9. Stay tuned for that. And of course, for all your carpentry needs, go to the PILBROIII family. Follow us on Instagram at the Pocket Presence Pod and on YouTube at the Pocket Presence Podcast. Stay tuned for more episodes, guys. Take care.
Hootie!